It's the Pat and Jer Show. We're now on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on YouTube. Doesn't matter. No one's listening, but it's my responsibility to let you know. I'm super excited today. We got one of my favorite people in the world, Pat. Just kidding. We got Robin. She's my mom.
Psych out.
And she's a super special person. She is an amazing teacher, a reading specialist, an advocate for anything and everything good. She's raised billions of dollars for charity. She's taken care of hundreds of kids by herself out of her own wallet. She's taught over 400,000 people how to read.
That's an exaggeration.
Nope, it's all fact. She is amazing. So what I want to talk about now, and then I guess little disclaimer, she raised me perfectly. Anything I do that is not deemed good by society is my fault and my fault only. She has nothing to do with it. All right, so what I want to hear about now, Pat works in local government. She used to be a reading specialist, or she still is a reading specialist, used to be a teacher. What's wrong with schools? Because I don't think schools are too good.
I agree.
Robin, if you had to pick one place where schools are the most messed up that need improvement, where would it be? Teachers?
No, they don't know how to teach reading.
So reading teachers need to be improved, or what?
No. Nobody is teaching reading the way it's what should be taught. In fact, an article came out, I believe today, I'm not sure, in The Economist. And well, maybe it wasn't today, I don't know when it was. But and the title of the article is The Reading Wars, American Schools Teach Reading All Wrong. Well, I've been saying that for at least 20 years, or certainly when you were in school.
Yeah.
And they've been teaching it wrong for many, many years. And I think things were never good, but they've gotten steadily worse, certainly since the 70s. And we're in a big pickle now, because I don't know what the answer is. I do know how to teach, and I know how to teach kids how to read.
Here's my question. I feel like a big reason that people don't know how to read, or that reading is taught poorly, is because government is in control. And I feel like if there's a little, and I know I'm probably on a different side as you two with this, but I feel like if there's a little bit more school choice, I know that's a bad word these days. I'm not someone like Betsy DeVos, but I do like the idea of having a choice of where you go to school, might help with some competition and improve it.
I disagree.
All right, Pat, what do you think?
Honestly, man, I think there needs to be more people who are trained and think like Robin out there, because it was the Robins of the world that are the reason why I'm in the business that I'm in, because I would not be in politics. I would not be an organizer. I would not, I'm going to dust my shoulders off, be as sharp as I am today if I hadn't learned how to read. And when I first started out, I had a lot of trouble. And it was a reading specialist like Robin that took me aside, gave me customizable training in reading, catered to my interests and the way I understood and perceived the world. And
that came from your district? Your district provided that?
My parents worked with the district. It was a public school, and they worked with the districts. They took a very intimate, interest in my development. And this teacher who worked for the district had training like Robin's and took special attention to me. And I'm a prodigious reader now. You've been to my house. I love to read.
Of course. Is that something that's can be capably done for every single student?
1 second. One of the problems, and this is, well, I'm your mother.
Yeah.
I get to talk.
Yeah.
One of the problems, and again, and this goes for school choice as well, is the majority of people, and certainly the majority of parents, and on my estimation, the majority of teachers, don't know what they don't know. And that's a big problem.
Good point.
And so when you start, everybody's got an idea, everybody wants to do it their way. And the fact of the matter remains, there is a way to teach reading that is 100%. And I've been doing it for a very long time. I use a method called Orton Gillingham, all right, but
Mhm.
it's phonics, and we don't need fancy schmancy. All right, there's another problem too. Publishing companies
Mm,
publish books, okay,
yeah.
and curricula, and
Mhm.
districts buy it. And what I have said time and time again is that publishing companies are not in the business of educating, they're in the business of making money. And
Mhm.
I think there's a conflict of interest there. And if we had well-trained teachers, there are lots of books out there. If people can read, you can educate anybody.
So that
Everything, every answer to everything is in a book somewhere. You got to
that-
find it.
that's where I kind of go to school choice though, because I feel like if you have school choice, you can choose a school that might have a curriculum that you actually enjoy
All right.
or are for. I had to go to a school that I actually didn't like the curriculum. I didn't have a choice though. I had to deal with it. So
That's
what
your,
am I
no.
supposed to do?
You know something? Sometimes you don't get a choice. All right. The fact of the matter remains, and again, in my estimation, the American dream, all right, is not golden paths or whatever. It's equal opportunity. It's the opportunity, and you by having, you're not giving everyone the opportunity. And again, when you have school choice, there are so many people out there who have no clue, and they send their kids to a charter school or this or that. And the charter school, especially if it's for profit, all right, they don't know what they're doing either. In fact, there are a lot of private schools that don't know what they're doing.
So
And good education, learning how to read is a right. It's not a
Right.
privilege.
but that's kind of where I'm going with saying too. I taught in a very disadvantaged school. Those kids had no chance of reading at a lot of the schools they were at. Why didn't they have a choice of going to Pat school? If they went to Pat school, they might have actually had the opportunity, which
Because-
I'm going to go to Pat real quick. I think goes a little bit into local government taxes and real estate taxes. Should that be changed?
Absolutely, without a doubt.
So in the Pennsylvania State House, there's currently a Democratic piece of legislation that is looking to redo the way we fund schools.
Good.
Mhm.
Make it less arbitrary and based off of the roll of the dice of the zip code that you're born in, and make it more distributive
Mhm.
Absolutely.
how you fund schools.
That should be in every state.
I also want to use your market theory against you, Jer, and it's going to touch on what Robin brought up when it comes to publishing companies.
Mhm.
Large districts that want to teach a certain way, that inject their own regional politics into how they teach, say, biology,
Mhm.
dictates the publishing company and the way they write their books. Because again, they're for profit, which kind of ties into what Robin said about for-profit education. The incentivization structure is not about giving kids the opportunity to actually learn biology. Instead, it injects political and market-based incentives into the books that they end up being given. And so if Texas, it has one of the largest school district systems in the country, they get to disproportionately affect the content that ends up inside books, because publishers are like, well, I need to cater to this state that buys most of our books. And so politics is hugely influential in how kids end up learning.
And there should be some accountability in how that money is spent. For example, in a district in Virginia, and it's in the paper, they got, what was it, that PPE money or whatever?
Yeah.
And
PPP.
one of the things that they did was they bought little medals for their teachers, like good job medals that are
Nice.
worth jack. Yeah. I'd throw them right in their faces if I were any teacher there. And it was sort of like, we love you medals, like the things you get at a little birthday party that everybody throws in and then it goes in the landfill.
Yeah.
But their administrators and Board of Education got cash. That money needs to be spent. Money goes to the children. What's going to make their education better,
Yeah.
period.
Pat
One more thing, school boards, okay?
should be eliminated.
School boards are a big part of the problem when it comes to how money is spent, curriculum, that sort of thing. It's a political position. Let me tell you, as a person that has been personally involved in school board campaigns over the years, I can tell you that there is not enough attention paid to the people that are running for these positions. Some of them are incredibly great, intelligent, well-meaning people, and others are not so much. And so we need to be very careful when we talk about kind of broad generalizations, because oftentimes the devil's in the details, and it's what are the school board spending money on? At my great school district, where I was able to learn how to read because of my parents, with a collaboration with a great teacher, there was also a lot of waste of money spending on
A huge waste.
assistant to the assistant superintendent for
yeah, you know, like,
$150,000.
administrative pay scale is
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
Or spending on one sport over another, or a fancy electronic sign that's positioned out on the road in order to make announcements, or you know.
And there are some states where every single town, as in the state I came from, has its own superintendent, its own, there's so much overlap. And it's the same, so you're paying what, $200,000, whatever it is, to every superintendent, whether it's a little district, a big district, a poor district, or whatever. It's absolutely insane. It's
So,
ridiculous.
Maybe we could agree on this before we end, and this will have to be a continuing conversation because I feel like I'm losing and I gotta make it a little bit more equal ground. But so perhaps we don't necessarily need more money to spend on education. We need to just spend the money smarter.
Much smarter. And the fact of the matter is, good teacher can teach with a pencil and paper. That's all you need. Some books.
I agree. What do you think there should be?
That's crap.
Do you think, I personally think some teachers, not for second grade or anything, I think older grades though, if you're a good teacher, you could handle 50, 60, 70 kids. Are you opposed to that, or do you? I think
in high school, I think that's too many, but yes, you could have sort of in the later years of high school, by junior and senior year, absolutely. I think that there should be even 30, 40 kids, maybe lectures. Obviously, that's a lot of papers to mark if you're going to assign marker, things like, you've got to work things out.
I like to think
yes.
though that my model, and we'll talk about this more next time because it'll be way too long, but I would like the older grades to have more of an apprenticeships and mentor
Agreed.
roles, where half your day as an 18-year-old or 17-year-old should be helping the district and helping your peers. You learn more that way anyway.
Certainly by the end of senior year, that last half, when the kids already, they're done, they're in college or whatever,
Right.
they should be out working, be student aides, aides in the classroom, teaching kids, being friends, whatever. There's a lot of things, and you could stipend it. That's where some money should go.
As a
especially
teacher,
in the poor districts.
when I had an 11th grader or 12th grader come into my class for whatever reason, the 6th and 7th graders responded so well. They want to impress the older kids. So
Absolutely.
literally all you need is their presence, and it would be so helpful. Put 2 or 3 of the older kids into those classes. Hey, you can save money with the senior teachers. You can get extra help. Don't have to pay the aides in the lower grades.
It's also,
and everyone learns more.
And it's with training, and you're also training them later on to perhaps become parents and better parents, and to understand what their kids are going to need in school.
Parenting is a lost art, but Pat, I'm sorry.
And listen, agency. All right. Whenever with these programs, the biggest thing I'll have to say about these kind of programs is make sure the kids have agency, both the ones being mentored and the mentors themselves.
I agree. Well, I'm glad we could finally come to an agreement. I'm going to cut the show short so we don't have any more disagreement. Robin, you did a phenomenal job.
It was so nice seeing you,
Pat, be on the edge of your chair because you might not be here too much longer. And
Why?
No, I'm kidding.
I
had a great time. Please like, subscribe, check us out on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Comment, and you might be a guest too. My mom didn't even have to comment. I forced her on, but if you comment, I'll allow you on. We want people. We like to hear different points of views. So please reach out. Love you all. Thank you for listening. Any last words, guys?
Peace.
Peace.